Elizabeth Meinecke's with us, associate editor at townhall.com. And Elizabeth, thanks for coming on the program this evening.
Well, it's quite a pleasure. I don't think I've ever quite been introduced with that music before. Hopefully it'll be my last time.
Let's hope so. That may very well be the last time you hear that song on Cam and Company in general. But, yeah, you're the lucky lady who gets the Rebecca Black intro tonight. You wrote a piece at Town Hall today, Illinois gun owners' privacy under attack. And I'm first of all, I got to tell you, thank you for covering this story in a day and age where there are a lot of big stories out there. I think sometimes important stories like this one can fall through the cracks. But I thought you did a great job of laying out the issue in Illinois where the Attorney General says, in essence, the names of every legal gun owner should be public information available to the media. And the Illinois State Police says, no, we don't want to do this. There's legislation that would block it. But right now, it's only because a judge has put in place a temporary restraining order that these names have not been released.
Exactly. For once, we have to thank the courts in this one. And there's a delegation from Illinois in the U.S. House of Representatives. 12 members have actually kind of taken this case under their wing, and they wrote to the Attorney General and asked her to revoke her decision in this because they believed that releasing this information would cause, privacy concerns and safety concerns for the legal gun owners in Illinois and those who don't own guns in Illinois.
Yeah.
Either making you a target of criminals to steal the weapons or making you a target because the criminal knows that you don't have a weapon in your house.
Absolutely. And so this, as you say, bipartisan 12-member delegation from Illinois has written the Attorney General. Have they heard back from her yet?
They hadn't when I last talked to them. I spoke to Representative Aaron Schock's office on Wednesday, and he was the one who kind of spearheaded the letter. He said he has not heard back from it. The Attorney General's office said that they've responded to everyone who's contacted them. So the question is whether or not her correspondence is getting lost to them in snail mail. We're kind of hearing two different stories here, but I think that the important thing is that again. She didn't honor the request at all, and the fact that this issue had to go to the courts is, I'm sure, definitely frustrating for those in Illinois who own guns and who don't want their privacy, who don't want this information out there.
Yeah.
And again, it becomes. When it comes to an issue, the Schock's office kind of seemed to think it was an issue of intimidation, whereas the Attorney General is saying, no, this is strictly a matter of what is public record and what is not public record. Their narrative is that it's not a gun control issue at all. So that's what you're going to hear out of the Attorney General's office.
Sure. I'm sure that's what they'll say. I will point out, in various states around the country, I've seen attempts and success by the legislature to actually block the names of concealed carry holders from the media after the media has requested access for that. And usually those bills have passed fairly overwhelmingly. This is a case not of concealed carry holders, but again, every legal gun owner, the idea that information should be public record. Elizabeth, I don't know if anybody that you've talked to in the congressional delegation or with Representative Schock have talked about the Second Amendment coming into play here, but it seems to me like we don't have some sort of list of journalists so that we can, we know who's exercising their First Amendment rights on a daily basis. I'm not sure, and I wouldn't support a bill that would, provide a list of, let's say, state licensed journalists. I think that would be an absolutely awful idea. I don't know why on earth we would think it'd be a good idea for those exercising their Second Amendment rights.
Right. Well, and I mean, his office made the point too, which I think is a very legitimate one, is that this is going to make people not as motivated to go the legal route when owning a firearm in Illinois, because when they're looking at this and thinking, okay, my both my name and the time that my license expires, that information is going to be out there. Why would I want to go the legal route? Why would I want to do that? That's going to jeopardize me, even more. And again, the issue here is none of the sides are arguing that this information isn't public record. That is maintained by the state police, which is which is a public agency. But there is a provision under FOIA which says that if it's going to prevent severe physical harm or physical risk to people to have this information released, you are allowed to make an exception. And the Attorney General just looked at this and decided that they're not going to make an exception based off of court cases and previous rulings.
Yeesh. All right. Well, listen, Elizabeth, I'm glad you're covering this story. I hope you will continue to do so, and would love to have you back on again when you've got updates.
Definitely. We're definitely keeping an eye on this. This is an important issue and definitely could have consequences for, other states. And who knows who takes this idea in Illinois and shares it with someone else. So.
Yeah, no kidding. Elizabeth Meineke with townhall.com joining us here on Cam and Company tonight.